Today we're going to look at nonlinear systems. That means systems of equations, so two things, a parabola and a line, so x squared and plane x, a parabola and a line, or two parabolas. In both of those situations, you have the opportunity for no solutions, one solution, or two solutions. No solutions are when the parabola and the line don't ever touch, or the two parabolas don't ever touch. One solution is if the parabola and the line meet at one point, or the two parabolas meet at just one point. Two solutions are when the line goes through the parabola, or the two parabolas cross over and meet at 2 points. The solutions to the systems are the points, the ordered pairs, where the two things meet. So on your assignment, part of your assignment is solve the system from its graph, and the graph will be given to you, and all you have to do is find the coordinates of the ordered pairs where the two things meet. If we're solving the equations, we can solve them by substitution or by elimination. Personally, I love substitution, and I think that you will too. So we're going to skip number 1 and go to number 2. Y equals stuff. Y also equals other stuff. The yellow is equal to the green. So if the yellow is equal to the green, what about the two greens? They're going to be equal to each other. So if you have y equals stuff and y equals other stuff, you put the first stuff equal to the other stuff. I'm going to leave a space and then write x plus 3 just because I know what's coming next, and it's just better for our work if we have a space there. Once you put these two things equal to each other, you know how to do the rest of this. We've got x squared and x in the same equation. That means we need to get 0 on one side and factor and solve. If we're factoring, we do not want a negative in front of our x squared. So I am going to add x squared to both sides. That's why I left the space there. And add x to both sides. And subtract 6 from both sides. That will give us 0 equals x squared plus 2x minus 3. Do you remember how to factor this? We're looking for two numbers that multiply to give us negative 3. Those same numbers need to add up to 2. That'd be negative 1 and 3. So the factored form is x minus 1, x plus 3. So what are our solutions? Positive 1, negative 3. Okay, so everything we've done so far, only that first step was new, where we put stuff equals other stuff. This next part is also kind of new. These x values are the x values of the points where these two things meet. So one of our answers is going to be 1 comma something. The other answer is going to be negative 3 comma something. How do you think we're going to find the y coordinate? Plug it in. Now you've got some choice. You could plug 1 into the top equation, or you could plug 1 into the bottom equation. Which one looks easier to plug the x into? Definitely the bottom. So 1 plus 3 is 4. Negative 3 plus 3 is 0. If you were to put both of these into your graphic calculator and then look at the graph, these two things would meet at the points 1, 4 and at the point negative 3, 0. So this is your actual answer. So once you get your x values, you have to plug those x values in to get the coordinates. Does substitution seem pretty easy? Stuff equals stuff, get 0 on one side, factor and solve.
Makes sense.
Okay, let's look at elimination. Personally, I don't really like elimination, so I'm also going to show you how you can avoid using elimination if you want to. With elimination, we need to add these two things together and make one of the variables completely go away. Basically, you need to make the y go away. So I'm going to write make the y go away. If we're adding, that means we need one of them to be positive y and the other one to be negative y. And currently, I don't have that. I'm going to recopy the top one. The bottom one, I'm going to multiply everything by -1. So that would be -2x minus y equals -5. Keep everything nice and lined up, and now we'll just add these two things together. So if we add x squared plus nothing is x squared. 8x plus a -2x is 6x. Y plus a -y, those will cancel. 0 plus a -5 is -5. Now we have x squared and x, which means we can get 0 on one side by adding 5 on both sides. And then we can factor and solve. So on your own, I'd like you to try factoring that and then see if you can figure out how to get the coordinates. So pause the video if you're watching the video, give this a try on your own. The pair of numbers is 1 and 5, so our factored form is x plus 1, x plus 5 equals 0. So our x values, our x solutions are -1 and -5. That means one of our answers is -1 something. Our other answer is -5 something. The problem with this is that this equation is not in the form y equals. So we're going to have to do 2 times -1, which is -2. -2 plus y equals 5. Add 2 to both sides. Y is 7. And then do the same thing with -5. 2 times -5 is -10. So y equals 15. Our solutions are -1, 7 and -5, 15. Okay. Personally, I don't like elimination because first you have to get it set up for elimination, you have to actually add them together, then you have to get 0 on one side, factor, solve, and then when you plug those x values in, it's a little bit more complicated to do that. So take a look at number 4. Is there a way that we could take number 4 and make it set up for substitution? Could we get y by itself on both of those? Yeah. So on the first one, we keep the y on the left side. We would want to move the 2x squared over, so that'd be -2x squared. Move the 4x over, so that'd be -4x. And we're keeping that -2 on the right side. This other one, we want to get the y or the x squared on the other side, so it'd be -x squared, and it would be +2. We're keeping that 2 on the right side. Okay. Now we've got y equals stuff and y equals other stuff. So you can put stuff equals other stuff. Okay, I try to use a little bit of strategy here. If I add x squared to both sides, I'm still going to have a negative on the left, and I really want my x squared to be positive. So I am going to add 2x squared to both sides, add 4x to both sides, and add 2. Do you feel like you could factor that, solve that, plug the x's in? So take a minute and try to finish this. If you're watching the video, pause it, see if you can finish this problem. When you get your assignment, I would like you to do all of the graphs and then pick 2 of the equations that you need to solve.